Redburn Rundown. I'm Matt here today with Andy and Jonathan, and we're ready to dive in. Before we get going, please connect with us. You can email the pod at redbirdrundown@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at redbirdrundown2, and find us on Facebook at the Redbird Rundown Podcast. Please also take a moment to follow, rate, and review the pod on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'd like to grow the show so that more Cards fans can join in the conversation, and that's the best way to help us out. We're very excited to be launching this podcast and getting into the first episode today. We intend to come to you weekly. Our show will definitely prioritize the news and notes in the offseason and season alike. But we'll also try to just enjoy the aspects of being an everyday Cardinals fans. Today, we'll do some superlatives for the 2024 season and some personal memories. Cardinals fandom is, after all, passed down from generation to generation, and we want to celebrate that fact on this podcast. Before we get into the rundown today, boys, give us a little background on your personal Cardinals fandom.
I'm Jonathan of the three, not Andy. I'm Jonathan. I have been a Cardinal fan for as long as I can remember, from childhood to adulthood to now. Watching the games on TV, listening to them on the radio, which I have a great story about listening to a game on the radio in full blast at Staples, which I'll get into eventually at some point. But then in my adult years, watching it on TV a little bit more, as it's been harder for me to get to the ballpark, but as it's been easier to watch the Cardinals on TV, I've probably watched the last couple of years about 120 games a year or so. So I've kind of cranked it up, but always been there. How about you, Andy?
I would say that I'm the one that's going to keep us out of the weeds. My track is almost the opposite of that of Jonathan's. I just started my life, like Matt alluded to, generation to generation. Our dad was a huge Cardinals fan. That passed on to us. I played baseball, I think, the longest between any of the three of us. Fond memories of dragging Matt outside to pitch to him, slap a couple of knees on a couple of bad curveballs. But, since that time, I've always followed the Cardinals, definitely always a Cardinals fan. But unlike him ramping up his fandom, I would say mine got more casual. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not a Cardinals fan. I definitely am. But of all the sports, I think baseball might be one of my least followed subjects. And I'll be the one that kind of echoes the casual Cardinals fan here. This podcast, I'll keep these boys, when they start digging too deep in the weeds, I'll pull us back out with the weed whacker and get us back on track here for the casual fan.
Well, just want to say, still trying to make a comeback. I know you said you played baseball the longest. Still trying to make a comeback.
There's no need to take shots at us for the first 3 minutes of the first pod that we're
honestly, I thought to myself just the other day, if I would go back in time and have the same workout ethic that I do now.
Okay.
I just wish a part of me allowed me to do that and see what I would have done rather than I literally quit baseball because I realized I had to get up at 6 a.m. to be at the gym, at the high school gym. And I just was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Not doing that. Yeah.
I could see out there. Andrew, you need to look up who Andrew Chafin is, that pitcher, that reliever. I feel like that's you in another life, just painting corners.
All right.
Anyway, you'll see him. Matt, what about you?
Is this the appropriate time to let the audience know that we are actually related? We are three brothers, I guess I'm the resident old man of the podcast. I can peek around the corner and see 40. So I don't know if you guys start making TikTok references or something, I may just have to fall asleep and you guys wake me up in a minute. I also have been a Cardinals fan for my entire life. Our dad was just a huge influence as far as that goes. And I would say I would call myself a pretty intense Cardinals fan these days. I don't know that I watched as many games as what Jonathan is talking about. But I'm definitely a classic second screen watcher. So my wife and I'll be watching something on TV. I do like to have it on the iPad. Baseball is just one of those perfect things. You look down, take a couple pitches in, and then go back to whatever else you're doing. But I will say this about my fandom. This has been true basically my whole life, as long as I can remember, is I have always liked the younger players better than the veterans. And there's just something about that. Like if I were to go back and play MLB The Show, I just immediately start trading the veterans to get the young guys and try to raid like the top 100 prospect list. I just always have been like that. And so this iteration of Cardinals fandom that we're getting ready to go into is going to be kind of interesting because it seems like to me as they do this little reset thing here, we may be for the first time in a long time in a place where we need to be paying attention to the younger players more. So I don't know if I'm like excited to win 75 games a year for the next few years, but I do enjoy the like watching the younger guys develop. That's always been kind of a thing for me for sure.
Before you added that we might be bad, I was going to say, boy, do I have news for you because
Oh,
you're going to love this year.
yeah. No, yeah, I don't think it's gonna be great. So anyway, that's just a little bit about us. Like I said, we are excited to be bringing this. We hope over time that this grows and just gives Cardinals fans another outlet to join the discussion, listen to good things. I think we all three of us individually enjoy listening to podcasts. We like the Cardinals. We're brothers. We like talking to each other, and so that's exactly what we hope to bring to the listeners. As far as that is concerned, though, we are going to take a short break and hop right back in with our first segment.
Welcome back. Let's get to some offseason news so far. So the Cardinals introduced Chaim Bloom as the new president of baseball operations at the season end press conference. His tenure in that role will begin in the 2026 season. In the meantime, his primary objective will be resetting the Cardinals' player development system. So thoughts on the hire and Chaim's role now and in 2026?
Well, I got to tell you, I just went nerd right away because I'll be honest and upfront with you. Like I said in the intro, I've always liked the young guys and player development and stuff. And so, like I said, if the Cardinals are not going to be as good as we're used to them being here for the next few years, that part I'm not excited about. But the fact that we're redoing this player development thing and this is the major focus. So I was like, Chaim Bloom, what's going on with this first guy's name? Like his parents what were they doing? Okay, turns out, believe this or not, Chaim is Hebrew and it means life. Guys, so I got to tell you, I'm ready for him to bring some life to the player development stuff. This guy came out of the Rays player development system, and if you
Mm-hmm.
ask me, like, what is the holy grail for player development system? Like, where would I go hire a guy from? The Rays is exactly where I would go.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, again, this is not maybe the most fun in terms of winning of Cardinals baseball, but for what we needed to do, I just don't know how you can do better than this guy.
A side
Yeah.
note, that means this guy's name is Life Bloom. I wonder if he rolls 3 stacks of on the
Life
thing.
bloom.
Yeah.
Life bloom. Yes.
Life
We're gonna
bloom.
bloom back to
Yes.
life, boy.
Yeah. That's what his parents, I'm sure, thought whenever they named
I mean,
him.
that
I,
literally may be what they were thinking. I don't know.
that's very true. I will say this initially. So he comes from the Rays.
Yes.
He went to Boston.
Yes.
People think, he got a raw end of the deal there. He's the guy that ended up trading Mookie Betts,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Yes, that's
Which
correct.
that sucks. Okay.
Yes.
But the thing that I come to is this guy is from outside of the organization, which is
Correct.
something that the Cardinals have needed to do for, I think, a long time. Not that the guys that we've brought in and out and gone through the system and the way that we've done it is bad, but I think that gets stagnant, and it's always good to have a newer blood in this, newer opinions. And I can't think of a better guy, honestly, to do it. And I also went to spring training this
Mm-hmm.
last year, 2023,
Okay.
for the first
Okay.
time.
All
And
right.
I was
Flex on him.
walking.
Flex on him.
Well, when you got it, do it. And so I'm walking through the concourse back to our seat, and I'm walking, and my wife's next to me, and I'm like, "Hey, that's Chaim Bloom over there, like standing right there." And she's like,
And she was like,
"What?"
"Oh, life. I can feel
Yeah.
it. Life."
Did you yell Life Bloom out, Adam?
I didn't. I thought that might be a little strong, and I also didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I walked up to him, and I shook his hand, and I said, "Hey, thank God you're here." That's all I
Mm.
said.
You said that to him?
Put it on my life. I said, "Thank God you're here," and he said, "It's nice to be here," and I
Hmm.
walked away. So I felt really nice about that interaction.
Nothing, no, like, hey, you should do this. Just thank God you're here.
I just thought that was a better thing. If
Yeah.
I'm coming in hot at him, being like, if you don't trade somebody,
Right.
whoever, That
This
felt
guy's
better.
run the premium player development system in the
Yeah.
major leagues, not me. So I'll just give him a
Yeah,
thanks
yeah.
for
So
being
So
saying,
when
around.
we
yeah.
have Chaim Bloom onto the pod,
Yeah, oh
that's all
yeah.
you gotta ask him.
Chaim, come on the pod.
Thank God you're here.
I'll just say, old friend, pal, how you been?
How you been? We're
What you
still
been doing?
thanking God.
Dude,
Yeah.
listen, I do have one
Yeah.
note about his tenure at the Red Sox. I do
Hmm.
think it stinks to be saddled as the guy who had to trade Mookie Betts, who just obviously won a title
Hmm.
with the Dodgers, and that's just not a good look on your resume. But I think that was when like the Fenway Sports Group was they were trying to buy the soccer team and they were trying to save some money, and that's not a good
Yeah.
way to do it would be get rid of Mookie Betts. Let me do note though that the Red Sox had a very highly rated farm system when he was doing that. That's the
Yeah.
guy. This is what he's doing. And so
Yeah.
as far as like I'm just so relieved the Cardinals, I know it sounds crazy to say, but I'm so relieved the Cardinals are like, look, we need help. We need
Hmm.
help from somewhere else. We're supposed to be this. Bill DeWitt Jr. always calls the Cardinals a draft and development station. That we're supposed to be drafting these guys and developing them, but that's fallen off in recent years.
Hey, that
And so
was
Yeah.
for
my
us to
only
go get
thought.
a guy, yeah, go ahead.
No, that was my only thought of like the cat because I'll be honest, Chaim Bloom, any of this stuff, the Red Sox, not first of all, the casual Cardinals fan is never ever going to know who this guy is, right? Like I doubt that they may know who the GM is.
You
Maybe,
think they know who Mo is? The casual Cardinals fan?
no,
Probably not. Okay,
no,
okay,
no, I don't.
okay.
And so the thought I have on this hire is sounding from you guys great. Just let's get back to what St. Louis Cardinals are known for, of that
Yes,
the St. Louis Cardinals way.
Yeah.
Like the casual fan
Cardinals
has
devil
heard that
magic.
before.
Like
Yeah,
we bring guys out of nowhere and they're
Hmm.
good. Yes, we have not done that as much lately, and there's reasons for that. And I think it starts in our minor league system. And so I think it's great that we're taking this
Yeah.
step. It's not good to be in this position, but it's great that we're taking this step with this guy.
Well, and you got to think too, if you remember some of the free agent signings or the trades that we made in kind of the I'll say the glory days, in the 2010s
Yeah,
when we were really
sure.
competitive, it was, we added Matt Holliday and we thought,
Right.
oh gosh, like you're already adding onto a really solid core as
Correct.
opposed to going out and signing, market value 3 starting pitchers and you hope that these guys do their job. Well, you want that one big one on the end that really
Right.
helps push you over the top. You can't build in free agency. Like we can't. The Cardinals cannot
no,
do that.
right, right.
And this
We
is
don't
what's
have
got to happen.
the market cap. I mean, that much I definitely know. We're not a large market, and so
Right.
we have to have those quote unquote rookie year contract guys that come through for the
Yep.
Cardinals.
I think
And
it should be also noted about Chaim is he was already with the team this year in like an advisory capacity and starting to look through our minor league system and kind
Yep.
of take stock of where we're at and what we may need to do going forward. So when they're announcing this, he already has like a background to this, and that makes me feel better about this too, that he kind of already has the state of the franchise. And also fairly sure he's responsible for the Ryan Fernandez pickup. Now,
Yeah.
you talk about a bullpen guy, but like he turned into a out of nowhere, wow, this guy's really good. And I think it was basically just on Chaim's suggestion. So, as far as like bona fides of does this guy know what he's doing or not? I mean, you can just see it in our team last year. Granted, a bullpen piece, not
Yeah.
like a huge central figure, but still, that matters, I think, in the long
Yeah.
run.
Well, and he had ties to Kittredge too in Tampa Bay,
Yes, you're right.
which
Yep.
is another, a piece. But I'll tell you the thing that piques my interest with him is he's talked about this a little bit in that press conference. He kind of gave a few buzzwords. I mean, what's he going to say? Right in the
Now,
press conference.
do you think he talked about it like a guy in spring training walked up to him and thanked God for him?
Yes,
I
it was.
really wish that would have hit
It
the press
affected him.
conference. Yeah, I think so.
Well, they can only be so long. So, but he talks about in this how we've lagged in our technology sector, all the
Yeah.
tech that we use. And again, I'm just going to reiterate this point. The Cardinals are never going to beat the Dodgers by spending money, but you can
Correct.
outsmart the Dodgers. And the problem
Yeah.
is right now, the Dodgers are beating us. I'm just using them as an example. There are other teams that are better than us in this.
Sure.
We have to get back to doing that. So if you're going to invest money into that and become like a powerhouse, I think to myself, like JJ Weatherholt, right? He's this top prospect
Yes.
down there. Is he
Yes.
now been saved because of this?
Right.
Like, can he become better and not kind of peter out at the MLB level that some of these other guys have done? So when I hear modernization and technology, that just makes you feel better about the whole thing, because that's where the league is going.
Correct.
That's where that's where the best teams now, and even the teams that spend the least amount of money, are successful are doing things like that. And I'm thankful that they are listening to that and trying to actually do something about it.
Yeah. So Andy, you think
gotta
for
improve the farm
Cardinals
system.
Nation, Andy, do you think for Cardinals Nation, this is not really too much of a needle mover?
No.
Okay.
The average person, the people I talk to, not one of us is going to talk about Chaim Bloom ever.
That's a real shame.
It is a shame.
Ever.
First of all, what a name, what a guy, and this is what we need. But I guess what they'll notice is if he can turn this around, they'll notice the product on the field.
The farm system. That the average, sub-average Cardinals fan definitely knows that's how we win, is our farm system, and it has shown. When's the last time we pulled out a gym, right, in the Aladdin? Yeah. And the last few figure pieces have been trades, right?
Right. Yes.
Nolan Arenado those were trades. Yep. We're playing a game that the Cardinals aren't known for. Yep. They're not going to compete.
And we've had this long run of bringing up highly touted prospects, and none of them now, granted, baseball's very difficult, but these highly touted prospects, and none of them come up and do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
And I think this is all part of that. It really is.
Yeah. We're not, the Cardinals are not going to land Juan Soto. They're not in the Juan Soto. You
don't think?
Hometown discount? He's not from
Juan Soto was like, I'm going to listen to all the teams. I'm going to be patient. I guarantee you the Cardinals will not be on his list. We're not going to spend $611 million.
Safe bet. So, okay. So we've talked about our Lord and Savior Chaim. Okay. What do we think about Mo staying around in this transitionary period in 2025? Right? Like, he's still there. Chaim's doing his player development stuff, but then he's going to take over in 26. So what do we feel about Mo doing that now in 25?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I've been a Mo defender for much of the 20-teens / early 2020s. Now, with some of the recent reporting that's come out about how our minor league system has fallen behind and some of those things that we're getting beat by smarter teams, I feel less good about his tenure at the end here. But as far as has he been successful? Absolutely, 100%. Got us a World Series title, going to be in a red jacket, and should be, and deserves that. Am I thrilled he's running the major league team this year? I'm not thrilled about it, but it doesn't frustrate me so bad that I'm going to not go to games or cancel tickets or anything. And I do wonder sometimes if this is this a little bit of a way to cover for, I mean, we'll get to this a little bit later in the pod, but what if we trade Arenado? Are we going to bring Chaim Bloom in again and Mookie Betts him with the Cardinals? And so now you get to pin these kind of things on Mo this year, and he just takes whatever's going to happen this year, and he takes the reputational hit. So I don't hate it as far as that is concerned.
That's a good point. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. It took me a second to realize that we were talking about the GM of the Cardinals.
Oh, Mo, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I caught up.
You got Mo, Chaim, GM, Curly.
Yeah. Right. And again, unfortunately, like you just said, that's a great point. First of all, good point. But I'm more concerned about our manager, right? The average person who just talks about it super casually is not going to be intelligent. No, I'm not going to insult people's intelligence. Just aware that the GM is the one making these things. And so you guys are like, oh no, Mo, that was a great point, Matt. I would have never thought of that. But I'm afraid that people are going to start blaming Ollie, and maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. It's just the lack of name recognition within the Cardinals. And if we get rid of someone like Nolan Arenado, go to a Cardinals game and see there's people still going to be wearing Goldschmidt jerseys.
Absolutely.
Right? And if we get rid of Nolan Arenado, they're going to be like, what is happening I don't know anybody anymore. Mo staying around, that's a good point. If someone's going to make moves, if we're going to make moves, but I just hope that's truly what it is. And it's not the flip side of he doesn't really want to go, or.
Well, he has stated this is his last year. This is the last year of his contract, and he's going to retire. Mo is, yes.
No, it's his end of his contract. Well, I mean, I guess that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think if you're Chaim, you feel like a little bit better for the fall guy, like just a little bit. Plus, if you've ever had a job, which most of everyone probably has, doing two jobs is a little harder than one,
Yes, that's
right?
true. That's
So
true.
if he's trying to reset the player development, just give it direction, and we're going to get into to who he hired here in a second.
Right.
But that person reports to him, and there are other directors that will also report to Chaim. So to let Mo ride off into the sunset and feel like he can leave it in a better place than where
Yes. Yes.
than it is right now, then I'm all for that. Give the guy his flowers. He's had a great tenure, but we'll see what he does. But you're right, Andy. I don't disagree with if he trades somebody like Arenado. What does that do for the regular folks just showing up to the games? Like, do you care? Does that matter to you? So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, any other thoughts on that before we switch over to some coaching stuff that Andy alluded to?
I think the coaching stuff goes hand in hand with it. So I think it's a
Yeah.
perfect
Okay.
time to
Awesome.
start
Yep.
talking about that. Yeah.
That's what I think. So we've had multiple changes, and this is the first year where I think we've really done like big changes like this since we got rid of Schilt.
Yeah.
So anyway, Turner Ward, the hitting coach, was replaced by Brant Brown. Brant Brown was the Dodgers hitting coach for a while, the Marlins hitting coach for a while, and then the Mariners. Willie McGee moved to the front office and was replaced by John Jay, which we know. Rob Serfolio was hired as the director of player development. That was Chaim, I guess Chaim's real first hire right there
Yes.
when it
Correct.
came to his department. Okay, so any thoughts on those hires and who's staying?
I mean, to me, those hires in order of how important they are Surfolio and then Brant Brown and then John Jay. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
mean any, offense to John Jay or anything, but the Surfolio guy is, hired as director of player development. This is the guy. So this is Chaim starting to build his team out. And what I
Yep.
love about the Surfolio guy is I was looking him up. He worked for the Guardians. I think the Cleveland Guardians are regarded as a smart franchise in baseball that's good at development. They don't have a big payroll. Like they scream St. Louis just in Ohio, right?
Yep.
And so this guy's 32 years old. He graduated from Yale. I love this hire. This is basically the Jonah Hill character in Moneyball, like come to life. And so this is what I want to see. Let's grab some smart people from smart organizations and let's see. And it's not guaranteed success, but let's see if that can work. So as far as that is concerned, I love that hire. Um, I have a few more reservations about the Brant Brown hire. I like that he's got Dodgers DNA. I think that's good. He recently worked for the Marlins, and our boy Skip Schumacher gave him a big thumbs up there. But then, if you start looking at the offenses of the Marlins and the Mariners, it's not like they set the world on fire. And to me, the most important thing that's going to happen at the major league level in 2025 is Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman. So, is this going to be the guy that unlocks those two young talents and can get us there? So, I think those two are very critical hires. I'm excited about one of them, and I don't know for sure if the other one, the hitting coach, is going to work out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the hitting coach for just a second.
Yeah,
I've always wondered, what is this guy's job to do?
Oh,
right?
This is such a great question.
Because
man.
Yeah.
Like honestly, okay,
You're right.
let's take it out of baseball. Right? These are super athletic, elite level players.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I feel as though that this is a type of job that unless you are like Alex Rodriguez, Albert Pujols, someone who is like the cream of the crop, how can you honestly think that you have anything to share with these players? Like I had to look this guy up. Brant Brown didn't know. He played
Not a household name.
No. He played from 96 to the O's. That's it. So 5 years, right? 5 seasons.
Yep.
And I don't know. I mean, to take me through that, what do you think a hitting coach, what is he doing? Like, hey, Nolan, yeah, you need to, that the players aren't already like and doing themselves already. I in the World Series, I watched a couple of videos of Aaron Judge giving some notes to some of his hitters, and they'll walk up and jack one over the right field fence. Like, where's the hitting coach? That's Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I had the same question, and I think of the three primary assistant coaches, right? The pitching coach, the hitting coach, and I guess you want to call the bench coach because he's kind of like the comms guy in the clubhouse. I think that the hitting coach is tied for almost last with the bench coach.
Mm.
I think the hitting coach just deals with game planning and preparation. I don't
Okay.
think that, I mean, I doubt that he's going through like, yo, Nolan, when you get a one down the middle, could you just, destroy that? Like they
Yeah,
know
right.
that. They know that. But I think that there is an approach and a strategy against a certain pitcher that you're facing, or, when you see if there's like a pitching change and they bring the binder out and they look at it. And
So
part of
like
me hopes
scouting
that,
reports, is that what
yeah,
he's
I
going
kind
over
of
with the
hope it's like
guys?
it's menus from takeout for later, like they're looking at something totally different. But yeah, it's like this guy's got a mean sweeper. Watch it, it falls off the plate. But I agree with you. The only concern I have about Brant Brown is like I don't think you can blame him for the Mariners not doing well. I think that
Okay.
the Mariners hitters just maybe weren't great. But
Sure.
I will say this: if he comes in and Mason Wynn takes a massive drop, and these other
Yes.
guys take a massive drop that have proven like Donovan and Newt to
Right.
an extent,
Yeah.
then there is something that you have to blame on the hitting coach because it's just his job. Although it's hard to pin exactly what it is he does, but you
Yeah,
take the
so is he
blame and you
like
don't
the
take the
film
credit.
guy? Is he the film guy and like the NFL film guy or the offensive
Well,
coordinators, giving you
Uh,
I think
Go
the
ahead, man.
hitting coach is the great black box of coaching in Major League Baseball. I bet if you went to fans from all 30 Major League Baseball teams, they all hate their hitting coach
Yeah,
because
yeah,
every
yep,
time a guy strikes out, it's a hitting coach's fault, and every time a guy hits a home run, it's his innate elite athletic ability that helped him hit that home run. So
right, right.
I think the unfortunate thing is we really don't know. But I do think there are franchises, especially with younger guys, that do like their younger guys pop. And I mean, we've had some position players that have popped. I would say Donovan Newtbar
Mm-hmm.
has had some measure of success. Mason Wynn just came off an incredible season, so it's not like we're just bereft of talent at the major league level. But again, as much as we can copy these franchises that make adjustments on guys and tell them to swing at different types of pitches and the kinds
Yep,
of things that happen behind the scenes that lead to the home run fireworks scaring all the 2-year-olds in Busch Stadium because
yep.
a guy went yard again. That's what we want to see. And so I don't
And
know. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say, and Andy, to your original question with what does this guy do? Don't you think that the instructing and hitting through the minor leagues is vitally important compared to what this guy's going to tell him at the major league
It is
level?
right,
incredibly important.
right.
However, I would just again cite Nolan Gorman and Jordan Walker. That's the
No, for
whole
sure.
franchise right now. Right now on the offensive side, if those guys turn into what we think they could, we're in good shape. If they
Yep.
don't, we are in a long wilderness, and I don't care how many Blooms,
Mm-hmm.
Heims, we're in trouble.
Ooh.
So two
Okay.
things then, I guess, to double back. Mr. Brown, if you ever listen, I'd like to apologize. I'm not throwing shade at you, sir. And second, I would love to interview to see what you actually do day to day of like what happens as a hitting coach. Take us through a day because I mean you had a 247 average, 45 home runs in your career. I would not hit that. I would not do that. So hats
Yeah.
off that you made it to the
What's the
MLB.
collective home run total of the group here?
Zero.
Uh, yeah, 0.
No, I
I mean
remember
I
Andy
hit
playing on some travel teams and yeah, hitting some
I
home
hit
runs.
Okay, okay,
four.
okay,
I hit
okay.
four, and I hit two run home. Two home run games. But no, not MLB.
Yeah, well, never got the shot.
So sorry, Mr.
What
Brown.
about John Jay, Memphis Mafia? Do we feel good about that? Do we think that matters? Is that I
Mm,
don't know.
I think John Jay's got a huge dumper. That's what I think about John Jay.
Oh,
He does. Listen, listen.
so the
There's no
caboose
getting around
ratio
it.
of the team just went up.
There's no getting around it. No getting around it. You guys will see when you watch the games. I mean, obviously, want to have more winners, right? Descalso, it doesn't hurt.
No.
Doesn't hurt to have it on there. I'm glad Stubby's still here, though. I was going to be upset if Stubby was gone.
No, we need Stubby for just back bend Canadian takedown of a guy if there's any kind of fights like he did to Pete Alonso. And
Yeah.
that fight for the listeners, just Google Pete Alonso Stubby clap takedown real quick, and he just suplexed him back over his back and took down the polar bear. I loved it.
Yep.
Do you think that Willie McGee going to the front office is literally just this year? Do you think he stays?
I think he's old enough to where I don't know if he'd want to. Maybe he transitions that and then down into the minor leagues, like instructing.
I
I could see
suspect that
that.
that's probably a way to just like pay Willie for one more year. Thanks, bro, for all your service, and we're just kind of
Yeah,
Yes.
moving on.
yeah,
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 Yeah.
yeah,
that's what I was kind of wondering.
hmm yeah. So, all right. So let's move on to some payroll and ticketing, just predictions. and what they've done so far. So obviously they're resetting. We've talked about that. They're prioritizing player development, and they're going to reduce the payroll for the 2025 season. So that has started already by declining the options of Lance Lynn, starting pitcher, Kyle Gibson, starting pitcher, and our reliever, Kenyon Middleton. Any thoughts on declining their options from you guys? Not bringing them back.
I mean, what was the collective age? Lance Lynn is 37.
37?
I
Careful,
was gonna
they're
say
all my
38.
age, so let's just be
I
careful.
mean, look, I'm getting there myself, right? But when you have 24-year-olds playing, like
But
I'm not.
did they look as good as Lance Lynn? Can we just be
No,
honest?
Lance Lynn has got some thickness, and I enjoy some Lance
I think
Lynn.
it's 2 C's for sure on Lance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, to me, and I mean no disrespect to Lance Lynn or Kyle Gibson, who I'm sure are fun dudes, and there were stories about Kyle Gibson helping some of the younger pitchers, and which also leads me to wonder where the pitching coach was. But sometimes I just think that happens. To
Yep.
me, Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson are exactly the problem with the Cardinals. You are having to sign guys my age at
yeah,
12, $13 million a year to do something that our AAA guys should be doing. And
yes,
we don't have Michael Waka to bring
Yep.
up or Carlos
Yep.
Martinez. So, and that's it. That's exactly where the Cardinals are at. So as far as us moving on from them, I just think this whole thing is like one big giant turning of the page into a new era. And I think it makes sense. And I think it may also lead to 75 wins next year. But I think this is what we need to do. We just need to turn the page on that version of the Cardinals because to your
Yep.
earlier points, we don't have the kind of payroll to be thrown around on the top flight pitchers all the time. We had to develop these guys and bring them up.
yep,
Yep. I totally agree. And I think Gibson, of all of them, if you were going to tell me, hey, make a decision on one of them and bring one of them back,
Yeah.
Gibson I think there was a story from Derek Gould of the Post Dispatch, which he's got another point we're going to talk about later, but that he basically sat Palante down in his bullpens and told him, hey, like, do you have a purpose right now in what you're doing?
Mm.
Or what are you trying to get better on? And Palante was our best pitcher in the second half. Now, how much does what Gibson said really affect him? I don't know. And to your point, where's the pitching coach? But the veteran presence that he brought, that Lynn brought, I think it was important. But I am thankful for their services and totally cool if we move along.
yeah. That's that whole
you know,
thing feels like that. Just the older, it feels like a shtick that Mo is famous for. Like, right, like former Cardinals players
We brought
past their
Lance back.
past their
Yeah.
prime. Right. Let's be fair. Like, again, still good, still had something to offer the Cardinals, but
Yeah.
they just bring them back on like 1-year deals and expect them to like get reinvigorated. I feel like that's lately has been. I mean, I guess it's always been something that the Cardinals kind of do. Where they find extra life in these guys. That's just like, oh, no, who's this again?
Yeah.
But I would also like to see what you said, Matt. Like, just these. Why are the AAA guys not doing what a 37-year-old can do? Like, get them up here.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why they're doing that, and we'll move on here in a second, but they thought we were going to contend. That's what they thought this year.
Yes,
They
that's
want.
true.
We had an abysmal 2023, worst record we've had since like the mid 90s. And I think this year was them proving was that an anomaly or a trend? And they tried to shore up the rotation. And let's just give them their flowers. They were infinitely better than the 2023 rotation. They were, and they did their jobs. But I think now you saw at the end of the year with Michael McGreevy coming up and these other younger guys, Palante being trusted a little bit more in the rotation. That's what you're going to see a little bit more. So I agree with you. I think we got to move on from this and let these guys. Let's just see. We have like 37 AAA guys that could pitch right now.
And
There's just so many.
Traded for some of them, and we got, and not to mention like Pink Hints and Quinn Matthews are highly rated prospects. And let's do it. Let's follow the Orioles model we don't have to go all the way to the bottom of the standings, but let's see what we got.
Yep, I agree. Well, speaking of what we got, so I alluded to this a little bit earlier about Derek Gould had a column in the Post Dispatch basically reporting that of the Cardinals' 4 highest paid players that they all have no trade clauses. So that's Miles Michaelis, Nolan Arenado, Sonny Gray, and Wilson Contreras. That when Mo approached all of them about, hey, this is the direction that the team is going, that Wilson and Sonny recommitted to the team. So that leaves then of the 4, Arenado and Michaelis as the potential, I guess, trade targets are the ones who said they wanted to leave. So who do we think that one person is, and does it matter if they all stay?
Well, I would assume that teams have a desire for Miles Michaelis in the same way that Superman has a desire for kryptonite. I just
That's
cannot
true.
imagine if Michaelis came out and got it tattooed on his forehead, like open for trades,
Yep.
but teams are just going to run away. So to me,
Yep.
by process of elimination, it's just Arenado, and that's it. And he would be
Yep.
open to moving to a new team.
Yep. So, Michaelis, sorry about that, pal, but that's so true.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Thank you.
so
I mean,
true.
listen, Michaelis had some
Appreciate it.
all-star seasons. He really did.
Yep.
But I think, the Lizard King's time is over as far as
Yeah.
being a relevant pitcher. And
Yep.
and so I
Yep.
think this one guy, and they're not going to say this in the media, but I think the one guy is Nolan. I think he's okay if we moved on
Yeah.
from him.
I mean, Nolan's 33, right? So he
Yep.
still has
Correct.
some years in the tank. All right. So in terms of relevance in the MLB, yeah.
Eh,
So is the trade, if there's a trade coming, two things as a casual Cardinals fan. There goes, like I said earlier, the last amount of name recognition on the Cardinals.
Yep.
If Goldie's gone for this Wilson Contreras move over to first, and we'll get to that, I think, in a little bit. But I just, what's your guys's what is a deal you'd like to see? Is it for more prospects? Is it for someone that can play this year? Is it a young guy who's like not quite into his prime yet? What are you guys looking for in a Nolan Arenado trade?
Can I just preface that uh, he only has 3 years left on his deal,
Correct.
and his contract goes down now. Is front loaded, so it gets cheaper.
It
So
does.
I guess the people he would be, let's just call it blocking, right? With him being out there, is Gorman would probably take his position.
Right.
Walker could potentially take his position, although I think they're going to try to stick him as DH or just leave him in the outfield. Sajasi could take his position. Eventually, I could see like Weatherholt down the line. He could be here in
Yes.
2 years or a year. I don't know if you play third. He probably plays second, or even Donovan, right? Like that is just
Yeah. Right.
a concrete block over there that's not going to come out if you commit to him for 3 more years. I don't know how much trade value he has. So to answer your
I don't
question
either.
specifically, I would be looking for whatever best you could get. I would say prospects. I don't think we need MLB ready. Well, close to MLB ready, but something like maybe not a top 100 prospect, but as many as we can get. I mean, we got Sajasi for Montgomery, and Sajasi is actually going to start playing probably. But
Yeah.
I think if, again, long-winded way of saying, if we trade Arenado, it's because we want to free it up for the other people that are behind him, as opposed to what we could get for him.
Well, Nolan Arenado does not fit on the Cardinals anymore. And I got some stats from last year. If you prefer traditional stats, he hit 272, 16 home runs, and 71 RBIs. 16 home runs is his lowest total since his rookie season. He had a complete power outage. If you like the triple slash lines, he hit 272, 325 on base, and only a 394 slug. That works out to a 101 OPS plus. So
Hmm.
OPS is slugging plus on base. And then if you compare that to everybody else in the league average is 100. He's at 101. Last year, Nolan Arenado was an average baseball hitter. He was 1% better than the average major league hitter. And
Yeah.
if we're going to spend $32 million on that next year, that just doesn't make sense for this version of the Cardinals. So as crazy as is for me to say, because I was so excited when we traded a bag of chips and a lint roller for Nolan Arenado and just fleeced the Rockies. We had Arenado and Goldie, and I was incredibly excited about that. But I think for this version of the Cardinals, I think we should try to move him. Now, here's where I don't know. If we would be willing to eat some of his salary and kind of buy back better prospects from the other teams, I would be willing to do that. But it's
Yeah.
not my money, it's DeWitt's money we're spending. So, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, if someone will just pay his entire contract, I would take almost nothing of value back for him. I know that's an insane thing to say, but that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at on it.
Yeah. Andy, you got a quick thought on that before we move on with Arenado?
If he leaves, I just am really concerned for the team, the Cardinals team.
You mean like ticket sales and
Yes, I think
yeah.
it's going to be a very trying
Yep.
time for the Cardinals. It's going to be weird to see Busch Stadium somewhat empty because it's just going to see this Red Bird
It already has
Nation.
been.
It already has been. Yeah, the
Mhm.
last couple of years have been and just talking to people that I know, it's just kind of like, no, do you want to go to the Cardinals game? Nah, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
know, it's just not great. And so there's going to be some trying years here probably coming
Yep.
up so, makes me think, do the Cardinals change their ticket prices? Because, I have a family of
Let me
4.
solve that for you. No, they do not.
No, I
There's no way
know.
they do.
No, they don't.
Yep. Well, and I think that's ultimately like I'm thinking about how does it affect, you said ticket sales. How does it affect the ballpark going forward? And I think to
Yeah.
myself, like you watch a game this year and it's like, what is happening? Right? It's
Yeah.
like you've never seen something like this before. But what I anticipate them doing is including more like gimmicks to get people to the ballpark.
Yeah.
Like people love free stuff.
I
Like
still
people
have
like,
some name brand guys though. I mean,
I mean,
there's still
sure,
your
sure.
Sonny Gray. There's still Contreras. Like as
Yep.
far as who's going to be up on the banners,
It would
I
be
think we still have
Contreras.
a couple of those
Yep.
guys. Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, and that's why I wanted to talk about Willie to kind of finish this segment up here is so this is pretty recent. That Mo has said that they're going to transition Willie to just being a DH in first base this year and let Ivan Herrera and Pedro Pages serve as the catching core. So
Mhm.
only Buster Olney is an ESPN writer. He's been there forever talking about baseball. He tweeted that with the contract the Cardinals gave him, that it's a massive mistake to move him from catcher to first base. That's because you inherently gain more value from a catcher that hits well and defends well at that position. So do we think that it's a good thing that Willie has moved to first base and DH? And do you think Buster's take is fair?
It's probably fair and good at the same time.
Yep.
Like he has every right to say that. But that's my current take is, yeah, it may be a waste of some of that money that I'm not spending.
Yeah.
Uh, but do I agree with the move? Also, yes. Because
Yeah.
if you're a GM scratching your head about this roster coming up, you spent some money on Wilson Contreras, so we need to use him somewhere. But also, there's some good, there's some, I mean, both those guys coming in to catch, a couple of them can play ball. And so it's good to see what some of these younger guys can do.
Yeah. Oh,
Here's the
yeah, go
analogy.
ahead.
Go ahead. Here's
No,
the
no, you go.
analogy. The analogy is Wilson Contreras is ketchup. Okay. So Wilson Contreras is an elite hitting catcher. Ketchup is elite on fries. And that makes sense. And like his defense isn't perfect back there. But as far as like getting the most value out of your player, you put Wilson, who is ketchup, on the fries and you're crushing. Okay. Now there are some people out there that will put ketchup on their eggs.
Mm,
Okay. I'm not one of them, but it strikes me that like putting Wilson Contreras at first base / DH, you're just losing some of the value of what he brings. And so
yeah.
once again, we're sticking ketchup on our eggs here, and it's not a perfect solution. But look, if the guy is committed to being on the team and he doesn't want to, waive his no trade and he wants to stand up and be the team leader, and I like a lot of those things. And so
Yeah.
do I want my eggs to have ketchup on them? No. Am I okay if the Cardinals put some ketchup on their scrambled eggs? It's okay with me.
Well, there you have it. That's finished up. Put ketchup on your eggs. Mo, Chaim, get her done.
Get her done.
That's it. Get her done. No, I agree with you. I'll say this too, just to add on to your point. Willie has probably been my favorite Cardinal the last couple of
Okay.
years,
Yep.
just because of he's the guy you hate to have on the other team,
Yes.
because he looks like he wants to fight everybody all the time.
Yes.
But then when
Yes.
when he's on your team, you're like, man, I want to fight people with this guy.
Yes,
You know?
exactly.
So
Exactly.
the fact that he wants to stick around and like right the wrongs of 23 and 24 is great. And he was our best
Admirable.
hitter last year.
Yes, he
It
was.
is
Yeah.
admirable. And he was hurt, and when he broke his arm behind the plate, they're saying this will help elongate your career, and that's great. And I love that for him. So if he wants to stick around for the longevity of his contract, that's great. And Ivan also, he can't throw anybody out, but Buddy Boy
No,
can
he
hit.
cannot throw one person out.
No, he can hit.
He
And
can.
and we need
He
to
really
see.
can.
I'm okay with seeing this and what's ultimately going to happen. I think it's a net positive if Willie wants to stay. Now you could make an argument, what are we doing with this team? And I'm sure we'll talk about that at a later time where you might second guess this, but for today, I'm okay with it.
Give me the ketchup, boys. Give it to me.
All right, well, enough about ketchup. So that's all the news we have up to this point. So we're going to take another quick break and we'll be back with some superlatives.
All right, and we're back. So what we wanted to do here is after our news and notes segment is we wanted to do some superlatives, like yearbook style. Like most likely to be late, most likely to get married, those types of things. But we wanted to do them for the season going backwards because obviously we're starting this podcast after the 2024 season, but we're right off the heels of it. And so we just wanted to find a way to kind of acknowledge some of the characters, some of the people on the team. So the way this will work is I'm going to throw out a superlative, and we're just going to go round robin around the table here and just kind of give an answer for all these superlatives with an eye towards players that were on the team last year. All right, so let's just kick off with the first one here. It's a good one. Most likely to snap a bat over their knee in anger. Andy, let's go to you first.
We got Rick Ankiel's little brother, Nolan Gorman.
Oh, Nolan Gorman. Okay.
Where's the relation?
That is, I don't know, but that's Rick Ankiel's little brother. Nolan, I need you to tell us about it.
Hey.
Because
So the situation is he's just struck out for the fifth time in a game and he can't handle it anymore and he just bang one snap over the leg.
Yeah, because he's 6'1", 225. I'm 6'1", 185. So he's got 40 pounds of those guys are training. You know what I mean?
For sure.
he's got it. He's got a pure snap in him. I see it.
What was the example? Was the example there that Gorman struck out 5 times in a game?
So do you mean Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions? And
man.
So Gorman's like, that's his normal Tuesday. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry there, Gorm.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Here's my guess.
Okay.
I'm going to say, because last time I said Willie looked like he wanted to fight everybody.
Oh.
So I'm going to say Willie, but I'm going to caveat that by saying, have you guys seen that one time when Arenado fought people on the Rockies?
He did. Yes. Yeah. That was incredible.
I could see him giving a twig a run for its money if he needed to. So I'm going to say
said Willie just in terms of like anger and I honestly think Willie could do it without his leg. I think he could just get mad enough to just snap it between his arms.
And he seems like such a nice guy and like
he really does. He really does.
No, but it's scary.
If it was the whole roster, right? And not just I think that's the position player that's gonna absolutely destroy.
Oh, we got a pitcher for us? That's gonna break a
I think so.
Hit it. Is it Lance? Is he going to land on it and snap in half?
No, I think Jojo Romero.
Oh,
Jojo.
The Cardinals, Pedro Pascal.
Okay. Wow.
I think the stash just comes through. It's so smooth. I think that thing just wants to crack for him.
All right.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Andy, let me give you a little background on that one. So Jojo would crush an energy drink before he'd come into the games, because he'd have to temper his nerves.
Oh,
so I don't know anybody who's doing that.
So the energy drink was to bring him down.
Yeah, which that doesn't make sense to me. Okay, but hey, it worked for him, so I could see that. So that was nail on the head.
I would love to live in the bullpen. Like if I made
where the weird creatures are.
Oh my gosh, I would thrive out in the bullpen. I'm a bullpen kind of guy. I think I am.
Okay. All right. Superlative number 2. Let's go. Most likely to get injured from blinking.
Oh.
Most likely to get injured from blinking.
The opposite of this? The opposite of the first question. Like
I guess,
go from manliness to
injury
prone.
Okay. All right. Yep. Most likely.
There's one answer for this.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
Don't give yours yet, because I don't have a great one.
No, please go ahead.
But I think I think Wilson Contreras.
Oh no!
I think he hurts himself. I think he hurts himself again. I think he hurts that finger that broke, or his arm, or whatever broke. He broke, right?
Okay. Yes, he did.
I think
he got hit in the forearm with a bat, though. So
that's fine, but I think someone who's just gonna hurt. Look, I don't want to fight the man, right? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, he's got some injuries racking up.
He does.
And what's the difference between a bat to the forearm and blinking? Really?
No, basically it's the same thing.
How much?
Yeah.
All right, here's
all right, Johnny,
answer.
give us yours. Yes,
the answer is Lars Taylor Tatsuju Newtbar.
Tatsuju is it?
Yep, that's who it is.
That's it.
Newt, unfortunately, cannot help himself but to get hurt.
It's so sad too, because I really believe the man has an all-star season in him. He really does. But gosh, and he's got the Riz, and he's got
he has
Japanese, and it just everything. That time in Japan, and he got super famous. He's got 1 million Instagram followers, but man, he just blinks and gets hurt.
He's close with Shohei. I mean, the guy broke some ribs in spring training catching a ball, buddy. Spring. You have time
It's
for
not
that.
good. It's not good.
So his injury rating is
Well, in MLB, the show is like
Dude,
Oh,
who now let's just go real quick. Who has that job? And what do you think is
This is good.
like what do you think they're talking about around the table? Like, hey man, did you see this guy? Like, how do you think they developed that
I
rating?
think it's nerdier than that. I think they just like have an algorithm for the DL stints, and that's how they get the number out of the injury report.
I don't know. I just hope that it's just like some
No, I
bros
agree with
drinking
you.
around a table, be like,
Yeah.
hey, this guy looks like a sissy. Like, let's
Yeah.
give him a 20.
You know
So
who's
these are now the
soft?
scouts from Moneyball. We had Jonah Hill earlier. These are the scouts.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly right.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, this is kind of Moneyball adjacent. All right, third one. Here we go. This is like a little bit of imagination here. Okay.
Okay.
Most likely Cardinal to steal your girl from you and leave you saying thanks to him. Okay.
Oh boy.
We're all married. We're in good relationships. Everybody's happy. All right. But so this is not like an unhappy relationship. Like, thank God you got her off my hands. No, this is like you're in a happy relationship. This Cardinal
Okay.
comes in, steals your girl, and you thank him for doing it, despite the fact that you don't want him to.
Brendan Donovan.
Oh, tell us about Donnie.
I don't know. He's just got that California hair, man. He's just got that like whatever you call it, like the do-rag type thing.
He's got
like,
the flow game.
He does. He's
does have the
he's a
flow
flow
game.
man. I bet you he's really good at yoga because he's got that flow. You know, it's
Oh.
really big, and I bet she is. All right, that's who I think. He's just well kept, well trimmed. I think he's just Brendan Donovan. There you go.
Okay. All right, Jonathan, give us your answer.
I'll tell you from my wife's perspective, it's not the Lizard King Michaelis. And that's no
Oh,
offense to
no.
him, but the stash
It
just
is
isn't doing it.
offense. Yeah, it's not
It
good.
is Michael Ciani.
Oh, Michael Ciani. Okay.
Yeah. Every time he would come up or do something crazy, she's like, he just really isn't bad looking. And I'm like, I can't even argue with that. He's really not. He's got excellent haircut. And he makes great plays. So would I be happy about it? That is where I'm struggling. But
Sure.
Ciani, you got it.
That's because both your answers are wrong, and there's really only one answer. The correct answer is
okay.
Mason Wynn.
Oh, Blaze Wynn. Yes.
Mason Wynn. Shortstop, lead off, throwing 100 miles an hour across the diamond, great hair, flow game, just charisma to all get out. And I think he just comes in, sees your girl across the room, takes your girl from you, and you're just like, wow, thank you, Mason, for gracing me with your presence.
Yeah. Well, he does have a. No, go ahead.
I think the actual answer for Matt is to also just be Matt Carpenter, right?
I think sure.
Yeah, I just think like for you personally, it's no one's got to relearn a name. Both Matts.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
I see.
The beard game, about the same age.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's it. I think it's Matt Carpenter. I think it's Carp.
All right, I love it.
All right, superlative number 4, most likely to pretend to be a hunter and accidentally shoot someone.
Ooh.
Most likely to pretend to be a hunter and accidentally shoot someone.
Oh, man.
I can go first if you guys need a second.
Go
I wrote
first.
these
Go
down.
first.
Okay.
Go first.
Okay. To me, the answer is obvious because this man, I don't know what his actual personality is. His personality for the last 2 years is to just have these fake personas and say weird stuff and get shelled on the mound. It's Miles Michaelis. I think Michaelis is going to get the gear. He's going to have everything. He's going to talk the big hunting game. He's going to get out there. He's going to shoot somebody in the rear. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I agree. No, I agree. Like, it's not gonna be my pick, but I could definitely see that. Like,
okay,
he's the jabroni at like an outdoor shop, and he has all the right things.
Correct.
But just can't do it.
Just can't.
But he's like, he's like, I'm gonna get the Bowflex. Like, I'm gonna commit.
Okay. If I ever meet you, sir, I would like to apologize in advance.
Oh no,
this hot take.
Okay.
I think that the person that does this doesn't shoot them accidentally, but maybe intentionally.
Oh,
I think that person that has that look is Sonny Gray to me. Looks like he looks
Sonny.
like a quiet serial killer, and I'm not gonna lie about it.
Okay, well, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but Sonny had at least one start at one point in the season where he was struggling. He went back into the clubhouse, got completely naked and changed his entire uniform and came back out and came back into the game and pitched. So to your point, like serial killer vibes is,
I was a pitcher and not once did that cross my mind to go do that, to strip down
had
naked.
to get rid of the uniform, and so what you're saying is
Serial
he
killer.
puts on the hunting
Yeah.
gear and is just like got to take somebody out, but makes
He
it look
just
like an accident.
something's wrong, and he's just gonna take somebody out.
What if okay, so in that light, which that's fantastic, and you couldn't have nailed that any spotter on with that, with him
It's
doing that.
Kind
Okay.
of frustrating how good that
so
answer is. Yeah.
so Drew Rom. Okay, I'm just gonna say
Oh,
Drew Rom only because
okay.
I'm just gonna play devil's advocate. This guy probably is like a legitimate hunter, but his beard is pretty magnificent. So
Okay.
it screams hunter to me.
All
But
right.
then it would be fantastic if he wasn't. But you guys nailed those. I got nothing left. So I'm just gonna go with Drew Sifram.
All right. Well, on the heels of that, let's keep the outdoor theme rolling. Okay. We just got a few more of these, but gosh, I'm having a great time with this.
Yep.
Cardinal most likely to ride through a mountain pass on horseback.
Oh.
Just has that look to him, just has that vibe, just
just
glorious right off into the sunset.
Red Dead Redemption style.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Andrew Kittredge.
Oh, the kit.
Yeah, I
Kittredge.
could see that.
Okay.
I
can
just
see that. Yes.
I see Arthur when I see him. I
Okay.
just
Arthur
feel like
Morgan.
yeah,
Yep.
come here, boy. And I just feel like he's just gonna. That's how he's gonna retire.
That's
Jonathan,
a good one.
before you give your answer, I'm
Please.
just going to say, if you don't give the answer I think you're going to give, I might get a little bit upset at you. So let's see what you got.
Well, thank God for no pressure on that. Can I say Lance Lynn?
Oh, that is not who I thought you were going to say. Okay, yeah, go ahead and
Who is it?
explain.
Who is it? Oh, I mean, just look at him now.
No, you're gonna have to have a workhorse, not
now
like
listen.
a stallion. You're gonna have to have a workhorse.
You're going to have
listen.
a Clydesdale is what you're going to have.
Listen,
Yes,
I ain't
you're
about
gonna have
to
the
talk
Bush
about this man's
Clydesdales.
weight. All right.
No, he's just thick. Isn't that weight? That man thick, and he's
Sure.
taking a Clydesdale. That's it. That's his retirement. We
Thank
should.
you.
I think in the news we better see that he had a Clydesdale gifted to him since we didn't pick
Yes.
up the option. Cardinals
that's
didn't
true.
pick up the option, but
That's
we did
true.
give him a Clydesdale.
$1 million buyout and Jim to Clydesdale.
Yeah.
Taking Jim to the pass. All right, what's
Okay,
yours?
well,
What's yours?
speaking of that, look, this is the only right answer. I'm sorry, guys. It's Brendan Donovan.
Oh gosh.
I mean, not
dang.
only that, it's just like
Ah,
Jonathan and I will text about him, and we've been calling him the general because he just looks exactly like a Confederate general. And you just stick him
No.
on a horse, you put him
Yeah,
in the grays.
yeah,
He's going
yeah.
through the mountain pass to try to find the Union, and that's it. That's who he is.
Yep, that's a real mistake. I'm on that one. That's a real mistake.
All right, our last one before we get to some serious ones. I got one that's kind of humorous here. Let's say most Cardinal most likely to talk back to Ollie,
Oh,
the manager. Cardinal most likely to talk back to Oliver Marmol. Oh. And this is last year's players. So
yeah.
anybody whose option got declined, anybody you want to pull from there. I can go first. See if you guys a little time
Yeah,
to think since
you
I've
go
prepped this.
first. You go first. But I do have a thought.
I did say, now this is not necessarily me saying, like, I don't think this guy's a bad clubhouse guy. I don't think anything like this. I just think I'm thinking in terms of just like passion and get ready to react. I'm going to say Wilson Contreras.
Yeah.
Again.
Ah, man, I was gonna say Wilson Contreras too.
Is
Yeah,
that a triple superlative for Willie?
A half point here.
Oh.
Half point. I'll tell you why.
All right.
Tell you why.
Okay.
He
Lance
just cusses
Lynn.
him out in Spanish. That's what
Lance
it is for
Lynn.
me and Wilson.
Okay, Wilson. Yeah. Lance cusses people
Lynn.
out for bunting,
You're right.
which
You're
is
right.
just
That's
like
true.
which is totally doable and fair in the rules of baseball. So I could see Ollie trying to take him out, him just letting him have a few.
You're right.
But
That's a great answer.
I could see a Willie. I could.
Yeah.
I could. That was good.
Yeah. Okay. Now, despite the fact that the Cardinals we didn't make the playoffs last year, we did have a winning record, barely. Just a modicum of mediocrity from the Cardinals this past year. But we did have some players kind of have star roles and do good things for the team. So these last three are a lot more serious and will just give us a vehicle to be able to talk about last year's team in a different way. We're going to start with best fielder. Best fielder for the 2024 St. Louis Cardinals. Jonathan, I can
All right,
see it
yep.
on your face. You're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I think it has to be Wynn. It has to be Mason Wynn, I think. You can make an argument for a couple of people, but this is his first year starting at shortstop. He came in for a cup of coffee in 2023 and was rough sledding on the offensive side, but he wasn't bad defensively. But I mean, the guy played, I don't have the number of games and I can get that, but he was a Gold Glove finalist in a pretty stacked National League shortstop race. Didn't win, but to be that young and to come in and to And he won that other Bible like fielding award. Like he
Yes,
won
he did
something
win the
else.
Fielding Bible Award.
Yeah.
If you like your defensive metrics, I'm going to agree with this pick too. But if you like
Yep.
your defensive metrics, he's the guy. Defensive runs saved. He was the best shortstop in all of Major League Baseball. So as
Yep.
far as I'm concerned, even though Arenado did have a good year defensively, and Donnie is out there just riding the mountain pass, catching everything
Mm,
at every
mm.
position he plays, I do think it's got to be Mason Wynn. Andy, close us out here on this one.
I'm gonna go hotter take.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go back to the Gorm. Second
The
baseman.
Gorm.
Big Gorm.
Second baseman's man.
Really?
That's a hard. You know, of all the positions I played, I did not
Okay.
like second base.
Okay.
Second base, you gotta like throw this like short arm dart over to first,
All right.
and
Okay.
I just don't like it. And so somebody who can field, I just kind of partial to the second baseman.
I will
just
say he was much better defensively this year, second base. Like big strides out of Gorman at second base for sure.
It's because you gotta learn. It's you. Everyone grows up, but I guarantee you. All right, if we ever have him on the pod, I guarantee he played shortstop growing up in the little leagues.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm
Oh,
sure every single really good player is the shortstop, right?
Mhm.
And so to transition at some point in your life to the second base, maybe he was. Maybe he was just always a second baseman. I don't think so.
Could've been.
I bet you he was a shortstop, and he had a
Could've been.
transition, and that's a hard ask.
It is. All right, next superlative up is best hitter. Best hitter on the 2024
man.
Cardinals. Best hitter. Best hitter. I went with a
Like
man that we've referenced
contact,
already.
just any of them.
I think you take it the way you wanna take it. I went with Wilson Contreras here. I realized that he was injured through the season from time to time, but I think just in terms of average on base slugging percentage, I just think Wilson Contreras was the best hitter on the St. Louis Cardinals in 2024.
Yep. I'm gonna go with. I'm struggling between Mason Wynn
Okay.
and Newt was solid, I guess, but he was hurt too much. And Burleson, not Baker, Burleson. But I'm gonna go with Wynn. I'm
Burleson.
gonna go with Wynn, and I'm only gonna go for this simple fact: he was horrid in 2023.
It
Just
was.
abysmal. We were scared. They literally signed Brandon Crawford as a backup because they were
Yes.
afraid
Yes.
that they brought old Crawdaddy off the couch. He was done, right?
Yep.
As a backup. So they brought in him to do that. So Wynn surprised me, surprised everybody. So I'm gonna give it to him for just that alone.
All right, Andy, got another hot take or
Yeah, the backup catcher.
Which one?
And the reason, Ivan Herrera.
Ivan? Okay. All right.
Spot on again.
Highest
Okay.
slugging percentage out of any Cardinal last year.
You're right.
And another reason why Wilson Contreras to first is fine is because we got this guy. We have
Okay.
two catch-ups on the Cardinals right now.
Deep cut for the real. That's for the real fans.
All right.
Yeah.
And
That's
the final superlative we will do is so we had best fielder, we had best hitter. I think we've got to go best pitcher. Best pitcher. Now, you can take this either as a starting pitcher, you can take it as a reliever, you can take it as something in between, but I think we've got to hit the pitching side before we go.
Yep. I have two.
Okay.
I think you have to say best reliever is Helsley.
Sure.
I mean, the guy, he set the record for saves for the Cardinal with
Yes,
49.
yes, he did. Yes, he did. And they invented an intro walk-in theme for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that means something.
I mean, and yeah, when he was on and when he's on, there's not
Oh.
quite much like watching him. I mean, he's so dominant. So that's my reliever. For a starter, I'm gonna say Andre Palante.
Okay.
Just from again, we didn't know what he was gonna be, and we may see more of this in this upcoming season to see what these guys have. But he was our strongest starter in the second half, like I said earlier, and really blossomed into like a legitimate pitcher. Where when he went out there, I thought he was gonna go 6 just about
Yes.
every time.
You did feel good about him at the end
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah.
For sure.
Those are my two.
Okay, Andrew?
I'm going to go with a rookie.
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
Ryan Fernandez.
Thank you, Chaim. Bloomin.
Not the greatest stat line, right? 1-6 last year. But,
Not his fault.
yeah, exactly. What are you going to do? Sometimes relievers.
Excellent ERA, excellent development, turned himself into a good pitcher. Yes, that we
Rookie.
can rely on.
Let's
Yes,
do the
rookie.
rookies. Best
Yeah.
rookie pitcher. Right there he
Yeah.
is.
Possible 2025 closer. Spoiler.
Yes, especially if we trade Hesley, which I am sure we will discuss whether or not we should do that move
yeah.
on future podcasts for sure.
Yep.
I
You have one?
am Yes, I do. To close out our superlative section, I am going to say Sonny Gray. And maybe that's just the chalk pick, but I think in terms of number of innings the guy gave you, strikeouts, very high strikeout pitcher. We love to see that as far as the Cardinals are concerned. And then, honestly, he came out to begin the season, and I was like, my God, we just signed a Cy Young contender here. He was unbelievable. Had some struggles towards the end of the year, relatively speaking, but just front to back, gave us a ton of innings, good quality, and so I think Sonny Gray was the best pitcher on the St. Louis Cardinals.
And he came out, I just want to add for you,
Yeah.
he came out that when we were in at Oakland, this was one of the first starts of the year for
Oh
him.
man.
And I'm not kidding. Like, he was unbelievable. Like, he was on this pitch cap. Do you remember this? The first couple
Yes.
starts?
Yes, I do.
And they were like, oh, let's see if he gets 4 or 5 innings. And he was at like, 6.5 innings, and he's still like 15 pitches. And they're like, do we take him out? It was pure dominance. It
Yes.
really was.
It really was. It really was. All right, that's going to wrap up our superlative section, and we'll hop into one more break here.
All right, guys, let's change up the gears just a little bit. We're going to end this pod with a little bit of a trivia challenge. I'm going to call it Birds on the Brain.
Okay.
Wow.
So,
Birds on the Brain. All right.
2006 is when the
Mm.
Cardinals Busch Stadium, unfortunately, rest in peace, old Busch with the sticky beer-infested floors. Rip.
Busch too.
But this is a true or false question for you guys.
Okay.
In the inaugural season of that park, the Cardinals won the World Series. True or false?
Is this some kind of trick question? Because
2006, the park's first season.
Yeah.
Did the Cardinals win the World Series? True or false? Yes or no?
Can I phone a friend?
yes, I don't know for sure. Should I bring my daughters down here?
I'm
No,
gonna.
You can't phone Matt. Matt's already on this call.
Okay. I'm gonna go on a limb, and I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
Is that right?
Concur. True.
You think both trues. All right,
I said-
Cardinals fans. It's a true statement. We won the
Yes,
World
it is.
Series in their first season at the new Busch. What a way, right? What a
What a
W
way
for
to
new
inaugurate it.
Yeah. I also
Okay, here-
answered that by saying yes and not true. So that's just wrong. That's just
No,
wrong.
is wrong.
I mean, yes, yeah, no, yes was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
New
won.
trivia question. This is a sad one, right? Just right off the end of that. When is the next time Busch Stadium 3 sees a World Series title?
2031.
2031.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
this is going on air. We will go back into the podcast
That's fine.
archives and dig this
2031.
out.
I'm gonna be 5 brain right there.
2029. 5 years. Give
2029.
Chaim 5 years.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I guess 4. Anyway.
It's gonna get grim for me. I'm gonna say 2042.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's think about this. Before 2006, with that good trivia question, the last time we won it was 1982. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes. Or is it 87?
I don't think it was.
No, I think you're right. I
Regardless.
think 82. Yeah. Here,
Regardless.
let's just Google it. Go ahead and keep talking.
Yeah. So if my maths is mathin', that's is that longer than the time frame you just said? It was like 30 something years, 25 years. So you might be on
Yeah.
something.
I just get worried. Yeah, you're right. 1982. I just get worried. So that's a 24-year gap. So if we went, that'd be 2035. I mean, I said 2042. I just get worried about it, and that it's not going to happen anytime soon. And here's what I brought that up ultimately for is what I've learned from this little dry spell that we've gone through. I mean, it's been since 2011. Um, I'm going to be all in the next time that we go to the World Series, like buying tickets, showing up, going, doing it, because you just don't know. You just don't know when it's going to happen. And I think that's one of the themes of this first episode of the pod is we're in this kind of retooling phase, and we don't know. We're not Dodgers fans. We're not, we're not guaranteed anything like that. So we really got to hop on it next time.
Yep.
All right, so hop on even a deeper cut.
Uh-oh.
The original Busch, old Busch, beer stained Busch,
Okay.
was built
follow up.
was built in 66.
Okay.
So if 82 is the last time that we won a World Series in Old
Okay.
Busch, right? And my math is mathing. That's 16 years.
Correct.
Okay. And we've already blown through the World Series win at New Busch. How long is New Busch staying there?
Mm.
When are we going to build a new stadium? And is it going to be how long until we win a World Series in the new stadium. How long? So we got 1966 to 2006 is how long?
40 years. 40 years.
40
yeah,
years.
Yeah.
So I'd hate to break it to you, but we're getting close to halfway.
We are. I will say
new
this.
Busch.
Go ahead, Jonathan.
No, I was gonna say Ballpark Village, I think, throws a real big wrinkle into that. Not to
Yeah.
be like Mr. Businessman here, but like they have poured a ton of money into that. And I think New Busch can age gracefully. It's one of the most
Yes.
beautiful parks in all of baseball.
It is.
Everybody talks about how much they love the brick and just the way that it looks and the view that you have in Ballpark Village. I bet it stays for longer than the second does.
I could see that too. That's what I was going to say is I have been to 12 or 13 stadiums now. I'm trying to do the, all the stadiums kind of thing quest. And Busch, I don't think I'm being a homer here. Busch Stadium is really nice. And I think it's going to be very hard for them to replicate the view of St. Louis with the arch. And there's just so much real estate. There's only so much real estate down there. I could see them spending big to renovate Busch more than I could maybe seeing that at like a new Busch Stadium.
So I'm gonna drop a bomb on you.
Okay.
Drop it.
I don't think St. Louis keeps the Cardinals for another iteration.
Oh man.
I don't think that's the bomb. I don't think that there will be a third iteration. I think that St. Louis, the demographic, the actual city of St. Louis, has proven that they lost the Rams. Okay. I don't think that I think that St. Louis 20 years from now, I don't see an upward trajectory in population growth. And I just don't know if the surrounding areas, i.e., eastern Missouri, southeastern, and southwestern Southern Illinois, I don't know if we keep. That's the hot take of the pod, boys. I don't think St. Louis keeps the Cardinals.
That is quite a hot take. I cannot imagine a St. Louis without the Cardinals. And I think the Rams is just I think the Cardinals is just a different thing altogether. Jonathan?
You keep your hot take. Keep it. I don't want that. No, I understand what you're saying, but Kroenke sabotaged the Rams. He did.
And he wanted to go LA for sure. He wanted to go
LA. I think it would be really hard to do that because I think Missouri would. I think they would have a word about that. That's such a revenue for them too.
Declined the Kansas City, right? They play on the Missouri side, so there's technically two Missouri baseball teams, and the Chiefs and the Royals got voted down for their.
But stadiums. To your point, they asked for public money for the stadiums, and
which is commonplace. That's what they all.
It is. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. So Missouri's already proven that they're not going to do it. They're not shelling out public money, which is what everybody does to play ball anymore. They do for whatever reason.
Where are they going to go, though? Where are the Cardinals going to move to?
I don't know. Louisville, Kentucky has a bigger population than St. Louis does. Louisville, that's where they go. Something like that. There's tons of cities that have more population than St. Louis does.
Maybe they'll move to Nova Scotia instead. Let's
visiting there.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, hey, crazier things have happened.
Well, regardless, thanks for walking down that path with me. That
was scary. I didn't like it.
I'm sorry. I just think that's ultimately where that goes. I just don't think I don't think St. Louis holds on to him.
Wow. Okay.
Well, so that's a way to end it's here.
What a way to end the pod.
That's a problem for later. So for right now, we want to say thanks for tuning in to this first episode of Redbird Rundown, your go-to spot for now for all things St. Louis Cardinals. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review the show to help us grow the Redbird Rundown community. Follow us on Twitter at Redbird Rundown 2 and find us on Facebook at Redbird Rundown Podcast for all the latest news, behind-the-scenes content, and more. So until next time, keep those rally caps on, and of course, let's go Cards.